Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am back with my January progress for the Smash That Small Paper Pad collab hosted by Houck's Crafty Cottage. And the premise again of this collaboration is to work on using up all of those smaller pads in your stash. So anything that's smaller than a 12 by 12. And you are supposed to focus on using up from your stash. This month I kind of veered away from that for I veered just a bit because I was given the winter fairy bundle from Scrapping for Less to make some design team projects. And so since I was going to be working through a good portion of it already in January, I decided to go ahead and just make that my small paper pad. There were 24 sheets in this paper collection, and then it also came with 2 stamp sets. So I have been working on using the paper and the stamps and having a lot of fun with the pinks and the greens and all of the fairy images. So like I said, I started with 24 sheets, and so far I made 6 little post-it pads. My daughter had a little birthday slumber party earlier in January, and we decided to make some little post-it notepads as kind of one of their, favors for coming. And so I have made post-it pads on this channel before, but I just used cardstock as my holder and then added a 3 1/8 inch panel of pattern paper on the front and the back. So it used 2 3 1/8 inch pieces of the pattern paper. And then of course I used the fairy stamps and colored them up and added some accents to them, and then some sequins and a little warm fairy hello sentiment. So there were 6 of these originally. Like, all I have left is my daughter's. But when I cut these down, I needed a 3 1/8 inch square, and so that left me with almost a 3 by 6 inch piece, plus another smaller rectangular piece as well. So I have been working on using up some of those scraps. Here is one way that I use them up. I made 2 12 by 12 layouts of my daughter my youngest daughter, when she was first born. And they sleep all the time. They just look so sweet and angelic when they're sleeping. And then of course my husband would also fall asleep. He doesn't look quite as angelic, but he really just looks tired in that picture. But I used the scrap from the side that I cut the piece off. So it's like a rectangular scrap, just shy of 3 inches. And so I just used 3 of those, kind of picked a pink, a green, and then one that had both colors in it, and then rounded the edges, and then just kind of put them in a row, and then decorated my page around that. And then of course I also brought in the fairy images from that bundle as well, and then some of the sentiments, and then added some other embellishments like stickers and sequins from my stash. And I did 2. They're slightly different. This one has a different fairy image and then different patterns of paper. But I did one for my album and one for my daughter's album. So that's why there are 2 that are very similar. And then the next project I did is a design team project that will actually be released tomorrow. My video should be on my channel tomorrow if you want to see how I made these. These are just some sweet little birthday shaker cards, and use the patterned paper for my card mat here, and then some more of those scraps that I had left after the post-its. I used that as the backer of my shaker window. And then of course those sweet little sleeping fairies. I just love her. So sweet, so cute. So 2 shaker cards, and then I have 1 other card completed, and this used the long piece that came from what I had left after the post-it. So it would have looked like this, and then that's what I used for my post-it note holder. This is what I had used for the shaker cards and the scrapbook pages, and so this is the panel that I used on here. When I layered 2 of them on here, they filled the width of an A2 size card perfectly, like in the landscape format. I just cut them down to be 4 1/8 inches long, and so then that just left a real small border around my card. And then used one of the fairy houses that I had already colored up and decorated, and then a little set of trees that I had also decorated and cut out. And then for my sentiment, I just added a little banner flag up here that says, "A warm fairy hello." So cute card. Oh, and then also there's some Nuvo glitter drops that I've added along. They're hard to see because they're clear, but. So I have 3 cards completed, and then there are 2 cards that I have done the same thing with those scraps. These are just going to be more of a vertical orientation, and I just need to add the image and the sentiments and embellishments on those. So what did I say? 6 Post-it pads, 3 cards, 2 scrapbook pages, and this is what I have left of the paper collection. There are 10 full sheets left. And those are double-sided. So I have 10 full sheets left. And then here are like the long scrap pieces that I have left from the Post-it pads. I have a handful of those left, and then smaller scraps as well. So I will continue to work on using those up. And to go along with them, I have some stamped and colored images already ready to go that I haven't used yet. And then some more stamped images that I just need to color up. So I can make a bunch more cards with what I have left. And that's probably what it will be, is cards. I'm just thinking like little girls' birthday cards. I think these are really sweet for like little girls' birthdays with the colors and the fairy images. So that's probably what I will do with the rest of the cards. But we'll see if anything else should strike me. But that is my progress for January. And like I said, I will continue to work on using this up, hopefully in the next few weeks. There are a whole lot of other collaborators in this collaboration, so please be sure to check out the other participants in the description box below. See what progress they've made, what projects they've made. I know there are some of them who have already blown through at least one 6x6 or, smaller paper pad. So, I mean, that's amazing. And I just think this collaboration is awesome. You don't have to use up the whole pad in 1 month, but it is kind of giving you motivation to use up those pads. So it's like you finish one, and then as soon as you finish it, you start another one. So even if it's not within 1 month, if it takes you 2, if it takes you 3, that's fine. You're working through one whole small pad, and then once you finish that, you start another one and you work through that whole small pad. So again, you're focusing on using up the smaller pads in your stash. So thank you, Deb, so much for hosting this. I love this. I love the concept. And I'm looking forward to working through some smaller pads. Thanks so much for your time today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the projects, and I hope you're having a crafty week.